The Palace of Nine Perfections. A steep slant of lapis lazuli tile leads the eye along this roof of brilliant blue, curving to cornices of carefully perched dragons. From the bamboo railing I watch as the wind pulls pine needles from the tree perched precariously on the cliff. While I stand in the soft safety of this massive mountaintop palace, I readily relate to the fragility of the tree, the merciless wind that picks piece by piece till branches are bare, the solidity of soil that lets needles renew. And I revel quietly in this rice paper moment, the duality of something so fragile, yet so strong. There's a few poems in formal that relate to artwork, and since we're in an art gallery, I'm going to start with them. This one is part of a set of sonnets that is called the Crown of Sonnets, where basically the last line of one sonnet becomes the first line of the next one, and onward we go. This Crown of Sonnets, the full thing is titled How to Improve Your Life with No Income. And they were written in a series of different years. So it's like the center one was written in the 90s, and then I kind of had to piece it together. So it's a complex set. And this particular one was based on being in the Metropolitan Museum of Art a few years ago. And there was a Chuck Close retrospective. Now, Chuck Close is an artist who paints with fingerprints. So basically, imagine something like 4 times this size. It's the only painting in the room. And there's 2 people in this white room with just this grand painting of this woman. And they are deciding if they're going to hold hands in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And they're a gay couple. And anyone could walk in at any minute, and this is the 1990s. So this is the poem, Imprinting a Petrarchan Sonnet. From fingerprints, we watch her face unfold to wrinkles, gestures, eyes that penetrate, that put me in a contemplative state. Your fingers at your side. Will I be bold enough to hold your hand in here? So old, this scene, this melodrama played from date to date, a Chuck Close retrospective, great dramatic backdrop this time, I am told, or rather over here, a little to my right. A man and woman holding hands who seem the type to whisper, point, then preen. My eyes take in your eyes. It's all I do. Then we absorb her eyes. She understands. In many ways, art permeates a scene. This is a Paean, medieval. Her looks cut swords of steel. His words knife my back. I am back. Let them eat chainmail, watch sky rain fire. I shall drag them kicking and screaming into the Renaissance. I shall create community from this plague. Or I shall hang my armor, box my sword, turn away from them forever, focus on continuing forward with you. Chivalry isn't dead, I whisper, breaking evening's quiet. They'll do what they will. Our pavane still shall play. We position ourselves over pieces of a dream. Let the minstrels begin. Canzone, I only want to work. We've heard a lot in the political sphere about people talking about illegal immigrants, but we don't hear much of the other side of the story. So this is a character who is giving his reaction being in that situation in America. I only want to work. I feel the iron curtain of this country closing upon me. This Congress, your Congress, is turning the drawbridge wheel, lifting the ramp. I cling desperately to its edge as I rise. I don't know how much longer I can keep my grip. I have a secret I'll let slip. I only want to work. Pull my weight, pay my taxes, be like everyone else, fade into the masses. America is freedom, equality, opportunity, the world's misty-eyed dream. My love for America is so strong I cannot stay silent any longer. View me as illegal if you must. Okay, I'll admit I overstayed my stay, too brief to begin with. Now you're aiming your bigoted bazookas, ready to blow me and thousands more away. And you forget the fact of America. This country was made great by people like me. You close us out in knee-jerk reaction. You slam the door to a better future for all. Consider me a cockroach to stamp under your foot. Can a fair solution be afoot from this hyped-up hysteria? You'd think hundred thousands in senators' salaries would buy brilliance, or at least measured reason. I propose that making illegals legal is no treason, but a counterbalance to this latest season of hate. It is the state, compelled to protect the least protected, that must act. I've paid tax, I've earned the right to ask. Only the laws of America are the failure of America, laws that protect nothing but prejudice, laws that add nothing to national security, laws that strive to separate families for decades, to pull apart, to squeeze, to emotionally kill. They only want to hurt, I only want to work. And the American response, according to the sonnet. None of these opinions in here are my personal opinion. These are representative of different Americans through different centuries, generations. What balderdash, their protests that I see. If they don't like the way things are, they can just leave. What cheek, hardly American. The women always will be property. The right to vote, my woman votes through me. Besides, they're put on earth to service man. It says so in the Bible. It's God's plan. The way things are what was meant to be. The science and the research show that blacks have smaller brains than whites. I'm sorry, ma'am, can't hide the truth. And now they go and sit at counters, denounce service, all attacks. That darky on the bus in Birmingham, those school kids down in Little Rock, all shit. That preacher man, that Martin Luther King, that Malcolm X gone stirring everything. They vote, then next it's intermarrying. It wasn't meant for blacks and whites to marry. I just don't understand why gays should marry. My personal story, written a few years ago to the lovers on their 15th anniversary of being unable to legally marry. Now, under Governor Christie, it's titled To the Lovers on their 20th anniversary of being unable to legally marry. Let's celebrate the lovers who can't wed. Let us prepare their what are thus for them. A canopy bed in the parsonage, a trail of rose petals to the door, 2 candles lit of equal length akin to weights that tip, yet balance in the end. And in the end we'll hang our heads in shame. We should have let them marry long ago. But fear and prejudice take time to change, and in New Jersey and Pennsylvania the uptake's slow. Yet we shall love them more, for they still love, despite the obstacles we've tossed their way. The single ones among us stand annoyed. Give them what we'd walk hot coals to avoid. Shifting gears, both of my parents have passed away. Before my father passed away, this is our family story, an encomium titled Father's Poem. He never gets a poem, not because he doesn't warrant it, just because he never is horrible. His liquor, CNN, the stock market, the Weather Channel, he imbibes daily. Must a father be horrible to warrant a poem? The Academy is still deciding. We smile and swim. Some will whisper, Parkinson's. We agree. It does not define him. It didn't define him, but it killed him in 2008. An elegy, Have You Seen Me? For Craig Freer and family, another family's true story, family I've never met. Hair, red, eyes, brown, sex, M, date missing, 6/26/2004, from Scotia, New York. Juts out from supermarket circulars I never read. Their weekly annoyance, a waste of postage which ultimately fills landfills. For some reason, I pull out this white card. I haven't found a missing child in over 40 years. But hey, like Lotto, you never know. And of these thousands of faces on milk cartons, on cards, the minutiae from many moments of my many lives, this card stands out. The circulars lay on the tiger maple kitchen table. I turned the card in my hands and sighed, glance past the window to falling leaves. This card stands out. I stare out the window with a strange sadness for a family I don't know in upstate New York. I absorb the boy's eyes and confident smile and solemnly wonder, how can a 5'11", 190-pound, 18-year-old soccer team captain simply disappear? Let me get some water. This is the opening poem to the book. It's an acrostic that spells out word vertically, titled Fear. Brave, you say, raise the bar, argue the wrongs, vow to be kind, engage in public discourse. Silence is dangerous, report all you hear. This is the century that tries our souls. Act enraged at righteousness and piggishness. Republican can't be spelled without burp. This is the century without a soul. Stand before a mirror, prove otherwise. Now I enter the age of age. I'm not going quietly. Observe, the poet has returned to the podium, wielding two words, be afraid. Brave starts now. Let me find the right poem after that dramatic opener. Here we go. Epistolary verse. A 12-year-old boy writes to Jesus. Dear Jesus, I think you should get down here. I think you should get down here right now. I don't like what I'm seeing here. I just want to enjoy school and read my comic books, but the news keeps interrupting with reports of anthrax, smallpox, bird flu, war, always some new reason not to live. And I'm thinking of killing myself. I'm serious. I told my best friend that I liked him today, and he went and told all his friends, and they cornered me at the playground and beat me hard. I had to tell my mom I had a black eye because I fell off the monkey bars. I really liked him, and I can't believe I was so stupid. My dad will throw me out if he finds out. I can't be gay. I don't want to be gay. How could you make me gay? What have I done to deserve this? Why should I live in a world where gay people are hated so much? From the Pope to the President to the Congress to the people to the other kids in my school, how am I supposed to take all that hate? I will walk to our church tonight and leave this message by the altar. I will stay home sick from school and give you 24 hours. Give me a sign that you exist. I'll go back to school and do my best. The drug cabinet is unlocked. I know what to mix to kill myself. Don't doubt me. I have internet access. I know what to do and how to do it. I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to be born gay. This is your problem to fix, Jesus. I think you should get down here. I think you should get down here right now! Automatic writing, the Litany of T. The leaves entwine in the cups, like passions of forests, like the need to rhyme and reason. But the only mirror you pointed to was jasmine, a soft flight of eyelids and shoulders lifting you from fantasy, careening you into carved headboards. My breath cracks into sleep like honey it pours, stirs into your cup, holds a shattered echo that whistles and shrieks of steam. All I need is rotting lotus and brown sugar, and we read the leaves together. No more. The doors close in an hour. Time to pour the brew, stir, sift, enhance, but it's always there. The face of a former lover reflects off mother of pearl. Eyes warm after a night of cold. Their comforting fire lighting the way to the sly sweet of the self, to a new dawn. Watch the trees outside. Bare, broken branches soar up to a new understanding. How much time do I have, Robert?
You can take a few more minutes.
Okay. Ballad for National Poetry Month. Those of you who are poets, who perform poetry, will definitely be able to relate to this one. I hope that you enjoy this. In March, I start doing the same things as you, like prepping for public show at County Fair, The calendar listings can seem like a zoo, a long line of cages we pick through with care. Perhaps purchase clothing, a fresh public view, and then pollen season comes, our amaranth. The dripping and the scratchiness, all nothing new. What satyrs picked April for Poetry Month? We sniffle through sonnets, eyes teary we rue, the season congestion we barely can bear. Sestinas are agony, gag halfway through. Who cares about book sales? We want singular. Our villanelles are hell, Allegra will do. This season comes stealthily like coelacanth, a seize to the throat rising out of the blue. What sadist picked April for Poetry Month? The post-nasal drippiness in my pantoon. That loud hacking cough back to disturb the air. That pregnant pause. Brilliance? That isn't quite true. The Zyrtec has not kicked in. Pull up a chair. My tankers are tanking. Haikuna haichu! I'm fed up with film and pain of perianth. My blood pressure escalates. I want to sue. What sadist picked April for Poetry Month? So pack your inhaler and come if you dare. It's tragic our noses are like tragicanth. But nothing stops poets. We are hard to scare. What sadist picked April for Poetry Month? Yeah. Formal is divided into an Act 1 and Act 2, and there's an intermission in the middle titled Intermission. All the cardio work is paid off. From the third level mezzanine to the basement men's room, just under 6 minutes. If you leap from your seat in the instance the lights rise, you can bolt to the staircase 1, perhaps 2 aisles over, make it down 1 flight, then cross the second level seconds before the crowd comes alive. This is the critical juncture. If you make it to that second staircase within 2 minutes of when you started, you can be on the side with the bathroom when you reach the basement. That will save 8 to 10 minutes of trying to cross that unruly mezzanine mob, downing wine and chocolates, checking cell phone messages. Who let them into the theater? Elderly men shuffle in line ahead of you like lemmings licking a water fountain. The stairway is so narrow, the one with the cane ahead of you may keep you trapped behind him, may make you miss the start of Act 2. You bite your nails in suspense as he takes 1 half step at a time, slowly pulls himself up the steep, winding staircase. You follow in his breeze, your teeth gnashing, your fingers impatiently tapping your thigh. Theater can have its intensity. True drama begins at intermission. I'll do
maybe
3 more for you.
Okay, sure, we can do 3.
Canzone, Poetica. Second and fourth line. The first stanzas repeat in full and become the first and third line of the second stanza, and on we go. In Malaysia, we go for 36,000 lines in Malaysia, but here you're going to hear a few fewer. This is a 36-line poem based on some poetry readings I've been to that have a little less class than this one. Thank you all for listening attentively. This is the opposite of what you get over here. Poetica. Sit down and shut up. I am about to read for you. I only ask a few moments. I'd appreciate your courtesy. I am about to read for you when the room is overheated. I'd appreciate your courtesy. I'll listen quietly to you. When the room is overheated, you may leave immediately. I'll listen quietly to you if the reading lasts 2 hours, perhaps more. You may leave immediately if you are forced to sit on the floor. If the reading lasts 2 hours, perhaps more, don't be offended if I leave. If you are forced to sit on the floor, a larger venue is recommended. Don't be offended if I leave if the poet insults the host. A larger venue is recommended if you cannot hear me over the milk steamer. If the poet insults the host may deny the poet an audience. If you cannot hear me over the milk steamer, make your purchase when I'm done. The host may deny the poet an audience. If more than 12 sign up for the open. Make your purchase when I'm done. Your purchase is an important courtesy. If more than 12 sign up for the open, I will limit myself to 36 lines. Your purchase is an important courtesy. It helps to ensure future access to this venue. I will limit myself to 36 lines. Sit down and shut up. This a much shorter poem. Since it's raining out, I figured I'd share this one with you. Serena Convertible. I drive my car again in driving rain, the kind that pelts and blinds its steady stream designed to drive in fear of the terrain, the nightmare when I wanted but a dream. I pull the levers left then right, then press the button that will raise the roof. Its seam will separate from metal, and the stress will pull the roof to fold into the trunk, the roof a metaphor for my distress, an inward turn, a blackened mood, a funk. The rain will drench my body, perhaps deign to let me think of simpler times and junk, life's toxic rhetoric, my mental pain. I drive my car again in driving rain. If you're interested in purchasing a copy of Formal, I have 4 of them with me. They are $20 a piece. We're down to the last 35 copies since the book came out. And if all 35 sell out, Sensations Magazine breaks even finally financially without government grant funding or university affiliation. So I hope you will support me in that goal. The final poem I have to do for you this evening is not my own, but it's one I used to do many years ago. And it's written by Guy Wetmore Carroll, and it's titled Marvelous Coney Island. So I hope that you enjoy this. They used to talk of Bedlam, and they used to talk of Babel, an illusion and confusion of exaggerated style, but in all the fact of fable since the days of Cain and Abel. No metaphor is better, for the same is an isle that I wanted that I got of, so late generous, a lot of, with a smile, and still shall do so for a while. You plunge into the entrance of the screaming scenic railway, and rejoicing or hoisted in a car up the incline, and surveying all that frail way in a palpitating pale way, go lunging down and plunging down each giddier incline. Surely squealing with a feeling like a fly upon a ceiling, you're grateful when you do it, and you're wiser if you do it, that's unless you want to root half an hour for your time. There are wooden horses prancing, there's a switchbacks clang and clatter, executing sudden shooting, boats are plunging in a pool. Every step a nervy shattered, but it really doesn't matter. It eases one and pleases one like getting out of school. So, approving these areas of moving in a novel kind of grooving, each moment of pleasure, searching for a while your pleasure will find the place of treasure for the periodic fool. Or the voice of Coney Island, as alighting from the trolley. You find her and remind her that your deed should be excused. With what bombilation jolly she replies to this, your folly. She reckons you, then beckons you. Your suit is not refused. She's a siren that a Byron might have lavished all his fire on. She's a sorceress that spells you, that attracts you and repels you, and I mean the things she tells you when you want to be amused. Thank you.